All right, can everybody see my screen?
Yep.
All right, great. We'll go ahead and pull up on the agenda here. I do have one thing, a change on the agenda. We are going to item D in our new business. We are going to move that to our next meeting, the potential real estate contribution. We'll have that on that meeting. So that's the only thing, a change I have. Gerald, John, any other changes?
I have none.
Okay.
No, sir. Motion to adopt agenda is presented.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion made by John, seconded by Gerald. Any further discussion? And hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda stands approved. Next item on the agenda is the presentation of the minutes, and Connie has those ready for everyone. I should go back up. I was reviewing them again. If there's no corrections or changes to the minutes from our April 5th meeting, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Motion made by Gerald. Here a second.
Second.
Seconded by John. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Minutes stand approved. Comments of citizens. I know we've got several other council members on here, but if there are no comments of citizens at this time, I'll just move on. Okay. Next up, we have the department head reports. We'll start up first with Mr. Chris Toothman. Let me pull up his report, and then he's got some pictures here. Jimmy, go ahead and pull the pictures up now because that's kind of your first thing on there.
Yeah, that's fine if you want. That's no big
Your
deal.
little super wash thing. All right, the floor is all yours, sir.
Thanks, Mayor, board. For the collection system, we did have a sinkhole repair at the Superwash car wash. It was another company that damaged our sewer main while they were boring. We have a claim in with the company right now. It's a CQ Communications Group. They're the ones that perform the boring, and like I said, we do have a claim in with them, and we'll see how that goes. We don't have an answer yet.
Chris, what was the utility they were putting in? Is it fiber or something, or telephone?
I believe it was fiber. Yeah, the fiber for Comcast.
All right.
There's pictures of that, I believe.
Your repair. You want their attention, I guess. If you'd just, cut theirs, they'd find out. They'd come back real quick.
Oh yeah.
They'd respond to that claim a little faster. We're not that kind of people.
Stormwater. That I'm sure everybody drove over that little spot there by where the high school keeps the buses there on Tell and 15th. There was a big dip there. It ended up being a water main repair, but the water department guys were busy up on 12th Street across from the cigarette mall there. So we put a clamp on that for them.
That's all your pictures. Pull up my free report again.
And down at the plant, Tim Barr and myself, we have to keep our CEUs up. So we've been sitting in a couple webinars to get our CEU numbers up. Just so you know, that's what's going on down here. And it's still grease trap inspection month, so be prepared to see the wastewater truck at some restaurants and bars.
Okay. Chris, just for those watching in on the recording and others that may not know, what is the CEU webinars? What does that stand for?
It's just credit units for to keep your license up.
Okay. All right. Gerald or John, do you have any questions for Chris?
I have none.
I have none.
Chris, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Next up, we have Pat Ballmeister with the street department. Pat, I'm pulling open your report now.
Okay, thank you, Mayor and Board. Last couple of weeks, the trash department, we've hauled off 75.47 tons of trash. The recycling is still very heavy around the city and on the recycling weeks. Something I didn't have on my report that I just found out today, we had a trash truck that got backed into over at Owensboro at the transfer station. And the Republic collection, the one that does the trash pickup, the Republic the sanitation, their truck's one backed into ours and just about ripped one of our doors off our trash truck. And we've had to talk to them about it. And we got an okay today that they was going to pay for the damages to the door. The door is going to be fixed, and it's going to cost $1,060 to repair the door that was just about ripped off the truck. Other than that, on the trash department side, that's about all we got there. On the street department, the last couple of weeks, we began mowing, weed eating, doing a little spraying out there and riprap and stuff. I've been working on patching potholes on the street maintenance, cleaning gutter pans, picking up trash in the streets as always. Yard waste is very heavy this time of the year. We've been hauling off a lot of yard waste from residents and down here to our circle on 4th Street. I was going to try to give an update on the boom mower this evening, but we didn't get all the paperwork in on that. Hopefully by next meeting, we'll be able to talk about that a little more in depth. But Mr. Yak will come out. We had a demo last Thursday, and we took it over to a couple of spots on Windy Creek to see how the new mower would perform. And it does really good. It's 4-wheel drive, and it's 100 horse, so it's a little bit bigger machine than what we had. And we've got 25 years out of the old one, and it wasn't near the machine what this one was. And I think if we can proceed and get this machine, we should get 25 to 30, maybe even longer if we take care of it and perform the routine maintenance on it. But like I said, there'll probably be next meeting for I'll know more details on the price and stuff. But they said they had one sitting on their lot that was a brand new one with 0 hours on it, and we could get it for several $1,000s cheaper. So we're looking into that and see what kind of deal we can get with that. But other than that, that's all I've got.
Okay. Gerald or John, do you have any questions for Pat?
No, I
No,
don't have any.
Okay. Pat, thank you very much for everything you do and your crew.
All right.
Next up, we have Chief Lenny. I think there's no report really on it.
He
Anything
just
you want
got
to
paid
add?
so far.
There, he
Oh.
yeah, he just got paged out. He just
Well-
left. He was down here and he just got paged out. So
He'll have something for his next report. Is
yeah.
that what you're saying? I don't remember Steve to have anything in there. Steve, do you have anything to report?
I do not, Mayor.
Harold or John, any questions for Steve? Okay.
I
I
have
have none there.
All right. Tulsa Electric Department, Superintendent Dixon.
I really don't have anything to report. We're just kind of doing our standard thing, replacing poles and doing a lot more tree trimming this time of year since everything's blossoming. Getting a lot more calls from customers about trees in the lines. A lot of times they're not our lines, but they are cable and telephone, but we still go check them out, and some of them are our lines, so we get them trimmed out. The other thing that picks up this time of year, just wanted to mention that starting to see a lot more garage sale and advertisement signs being nailed to our poles. If we see them out in the public, we will remove them. So, if you're having a garage sale and you put it on our pole, you've wasted a poster board because we're going to take it down.
Yeah, Dennis, I agree. I saw one over the weekend, and I was on a way somewhere. I didn't have time to stop, and I drove back by and it was gone. Then I saw it later covering a storm drain. So it
Yeah, it probably came off and blew down to the storm drain.
It did. So not only is it, we have ordinances, obviously, against that, and we've issued citations, and I guess we're going to have to, you can put that notice on your utility bills. Is that right? All right,
Yes.
so maybe let's put them on your next round of utility bills, and we'll make sure the newspaper puts something in there. We'll post something on our social media, and obviously in our meetings, we'll put the information back out there again that this is not acceptable to be doing, because it does tear up our poles. And half the time, people who have yard sales don't even go take them down. They just leave them up.
Right, right.
And so, and it's not just yard sale sign, it's any sign, a missing cat or a dog or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's,
Oh, yeah, there's a little bit of everything. There's mattress sales and
yeah, they've had
we buy
before.
your houses and
Yeah. So, and I think at some point we ought to just really start issuing citations. That'll end it real quick. Once
well,
the
not
word
only
gets-
that, we will take them down and we will not return them. We're just going to take them down.
Sure. Well, I don't think they'd want back a 50-cent poster board, but yeah, I appreciate that. Your next meeting, I noticed that's going to be in person, right? Down at the office?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we started having them in person last month.
Okay. And I want to thank you for you and your crew working today to get those lamp posts up. I know they got the one down and I saw one up. I don't know if they had the other one up yet. No, not yet. Almost on Mozart, the decorative street lamp. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, I did know we did get the one moved and we're going to get the other one taken care of, but
Jefferson's
we did
up
get the
as-
one done.
Jefferson's up, so I saw it when I was going to the pool meeting for the splash pad earlier. But Mozart's not yet. I just looked out the window, but I think that'll make a difference in the area of lighting. It's fairly dark up there, and they'll look nice there. They'll look consistent at least.
Yeah.
Gerald or John, any questions for Superintendent Dixon?
No.
No, sir.
Thank you, Dennis.
Yep.
Chief Allen is not on, but we do have Assistant Chief Roger Smith. Roger?
Thank you, Mayor, Board. I do have a couple things here. I did mention in one of the department head meetings about the CAD disconnect. Basically, what's happening is our internet is for some reason putting our dispatch center into disconnect mode, which means that we're not in real time, we're not live. We have no way to push these calls out to our MDTs and our officers in the field. We have no way to really update them. And in documents in the dispatch center and reporting purposes, times is very important, especially in a lot of these high priority calls. We did reach out to ECMundi. I know I presented to the board some time back about switching our internet over to the department. That was done. However, at the time, they didn't have the availability or the manpower to contribute to including the dispatch center. So it's still feeding off of Dennis and them at the Tell City Electric Department for our dispatch center. The Tell City Police Department is on their own internet. However, it doesn't include the dispatch. I take it, I'll consult with Connie to be sure, but I take it when we received the first estimate that the board approved, they took that part of the bill off. I'm hoping they did, because I've reached back out to ECMundi and he's given us a quote now for $2,805, and that's going to establish us a VPN from the Tell City Police Department internet straight to the IoT in Indianapolis to try to keep our CAD up and going. And we've been several shifts have experienced downtime that's just not acceptable. So I just asked the board that if I check with Connie and this part of the bill was eliminated from the last internet transition, that we could go ahead and proceed with this at a cost of $2,805, and that would eliminate us being any part of the Tell City Electric Department's internet.
Well, Roger, I think that's something we have to do. I mean, it's important. We have to have that connection. So, John or Gerald, any thoughts on that as well?
I agree, Mayor. Do you need a motion on that, or do we just need to
Yes,
approve?
yes, sir.
Okay. I'll make that motion though, then that we approve that work for ECMundi down at the police station.
Okay, we have a motion made by John. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Gerald. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Hey, Roger, this is Dennis. Just for your information too, and Mayor, for your information, we are separating ourselves from the internet service too. Tell City Electric's going to have its own service the bandwidth on the city's internet services went way up with the addition of the police department's software and the numerous cameras that have been put up. The bandwidth has went way up. So what we're going to do, which should alleviate some of the problem, is we'll be on our own feed.
Okay.
Yes, I agree, Dennis. I think so many things happen with live feed and the camera additions and our body cams and some additional things being added that it just can't keep up. So
Yeah, there's just a lot of things going on in the city now, and like I said, the bandwidth is it's went way up, and everybody has noticed things are slowing down or dropping off. So trying to alleviate part of that problem, we're just gonna have our own separate service, and that way it'll improve things.
You think that was part of our issue today? Or was that?
I don't know. I don't know if Mark's.
He'd said a breaker had tripped or something, but I don't know. I thought that's what I read. It's email.
Oh no, we were out of service too. I don't know what that was. I haven't talked to Mark, but yeah, we were dead in the water. Our phones weren't working. The internet wasn't working. Nothing was working.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this should alleviate a lot of the bandwidth problems and the slowdowns we're having if we start separating these services, and we're going to take part in that by separating ours, and that should improve some of the services.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Roger, did you have anything else you need to add to your report?
Yes, sir, Mayor. I did have dispatch information again. As you know, we had a vacancy. We lost one of the full-time staff members in dispatch. We created a hiring panel like we normally do, conducted several interviews. Everything went well, had a lot of good applicants. The panel chose to present a name to the board for their approval. The dispatcher's name is Jody Meeks, and I say the dispatcher because she has about 16 years experience. She's currently with Spencer County. She's very qualified. I think training will be very limited, in time as far as how long it takes her to come on board and be able to work as a second in there. So again, it's Jody Meeks. And I have a second part of that as well. In conducting the interviews, I would also like to ask the board. We really did interview some good folks, and I would like to maybe have the board consider letting us look into a couple of background and other things, and potentially offer them some part-time work in the dispatch center just to make up for the spots that we have with folks filling them right now that's inactive and things of that nature. We want to kind of clean up the roster a little bit. And we had 4 names of individuals that we wanted to look into for a possibility of part-time work.
I think it's great. You never know when you're going to need extra help and so forth. And to have people on call and have the extra help is always a plus. So Gerald or John, do you have any issues with that hiring?
I don't have any.
I don't either. Roger, what type of inquiries do you do on these people as far as when you get ready to decide to interview them and everything? In a short version.
Yes, sir. We generally, and the number of applicants we have, it varies around 10 to 12. So we afford everybody the opportunity to conduct an interview. If we move forward with that, then it goes into a criminal background investigation, look into their references and things of that nature. But mostly we kind of focus on the criminal aspect, making sure they don't have anything that would eliminate them from working in the dispatch center on their criminal history.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to ask about that. Okay. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Mayor, do you need a motion for that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll make that motion, sir.
Okay, we have a
I'll
motion made by John, seconded by Gerald. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Roger, was there anything else?
No, sir. Mayor, board members, thank you for hearing our new hire and also the internet tonight. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Next up, we have Cemetery Sexton, Alvy Stiff. I don't think there's a report in there, is there? No.
No, I don't really have anything to report tonight, Mayor and Board. Everything's going good at the cemetery, mowing like crazy and weed eating, so.
You did get I think it's good to report, you did get you some part-time help, right?
Yes, we do have a new part-time help. He started today.
So
And
you can say who it is if you want.
yeah, it's David Bosley. He's a retired guy from Apaka looking for part-time work.
So we're glad to have him.
Yep.
sir.
We can use him. And update on our mini excavator where Pam Fold, the sales manager, she, I think at this time is waiting to get a VIN number from the company. I actually think they're building it. So it's gonna be hot off the assembly line. So when she
Great.
gets a VIN number, we'll have a ETA on it.
I'm glad to hear that. It's a much needed piece of equipment, Fast Cemetery. We'll get a lot of use out for many years.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's all I have.
thank you, Alvy. I don't have a report from Parks and Rec. So we'll go ahead to the next item on the agenda, and that's wastewater adjustments. Gary, myself, and Mr. Toothman have reviewed these. We don't see any issues approving these here as presented here. So if there's no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve these.
So moved.
I have a motion made by John. To hear a second?
Second.
Second by Gerald. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I don't believe there's nothing under old business, new business. We took the one item off, and we already got the new dispatch hire under item A. We covered that under the police department's report. As far as mayor's report goes, I really don't have a pretty lengthy report at all. So I would report that we did have a Windy Creek meeting last week, and went very well. Pat went through and updated the board and the committee as far as what's been done and what we're planning to do. He filled him in on the boom mower, the rock he's placing areas, and talked about the maintenance schedule. And we are going to have a meeting with NDOT regarding the creek out on Long Highway 66, right off Orchard Hill Drive to the bridge there by Old National Bank where they just moved to. They sent a report to me that is called a off-site mitigation area. This kind of came out of nowhere. None of us had any knowledge of this coming about. So last Friday, Pat calls me that they are planting trees up there in the creek, along the creek and so forth, and putting signs up, do not mow, do not spray, do not touch, basically. And so they're going to come down and meet with me. They're going to send some dates. I'd like to have the Windy Creek committee there when we do, and obviously Pat as well, to understand what responsibility NDOT's going to take for this with these trees being planted there and allowing all that to grow up. I have a lot of safety concerns as well as maybe potential flooding issue. And so we'll see what we can come up with on that, and I'll report back to the Board of Works and the committees what we find from that. I have really nothing else under mayor's report. So if there's nothing else to come before the board, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion made by Gerald. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting stands adjourned. Thank you all. This was our last Zoom meeting. So